Welcome to the T2 hubcast. Join Martin, Dave, Spencer and guests as they discuss all things personal and professional development. The T2 hubcast, brought to you by the People Performance People.
Welcome to another T2 hubcast with me, Dave Pendleton. I'm going to carry on the series of hubcasts on customer service and the 6 elements of customer service in terms of cultures. Just as a really quick recap, I did an original hubcast which has already been published on the T2 Hub around the 6 key elements that, from my perspective and experience, need to be present in an organisation to have what I call a real service culture. I don't just mean a service offering, I mean a real service culture where every single human that's involved in service truly believes in service to their very core. So what were those 6 elements? Well, there is, of course, listen, which is just around listening to customers' input constantly. It's analyze, it's empower, it's agility, it's speed, and it's improvement. When those 6 things are in place in an organisation to ultimate levels, you will have some really, really great wins and great success with customers. So a previous hubcast was indeed around listen. So today's hubcast is going to be around analyze and the analysis of many different things around service. So I'm just going to break that down for you on this hubcast. So in terms of analyze, what is it I mean by analyze? Well, I guess it's an ordinary, everyday, business-specific thing that we should be doing on an ongoing basis. You know, we should be looking at what we do, how we do it, and the way we do it every single day, and analysing whether we are doing it well enough, big enough, long enough, straight enough, etc., constantly on an ongoing basis to try and understand where the gaps are. So if we understand where the gaps are, obviously we can start filling those gaps, and we can start potentially making our service offering or our service product or whatever it might be slightly better for those people that buy it from us or receive it from us. So really quite frequently when I'm running customer service training days for organisations and businesses, quite early on, I asked the group the question, how do you measure the success of the customer service department? And quite frequently, I'm met with almost a blank or vague kind of response, or maybe the most senior person or the customer service leader in the room will kind of say, well, we have some kind of measurement tool. It's not often we visit it, and it's very infrequently that we actually do anything with the results. So, of course, my response to that is, well, how do you increase the quality of your offering if you aren't really sure how good it is right now? And of course, the response is very similar to the first question, and it's kind of vague at best. So interestingly, in terms of analyze, there are many different things that customer service departments, customer service leaders, managers, and even customer service staff and agents should be analysing. The very first thing is analysing customer feedback. All too frequently, customer service organisations and businesses don't listen to the feedback that they are being given, particularly from customers who have got a problem. We spend lots of money, or organisations and businesses spend lots of money on a fantastic piece of training called conflict management. I myself, in days gone by, have been involved in conflict management training, which of course consists of things like, handling customer complaints and dealing with emotionally elevated customers and, creating rapport and all that kind of stuff. And there is a place for it, I guess, for sure. But none of that conflict handling training, from my experience in the past, has actually involved in listening to the customer and understanding exactly what they are saying, but moreover, having a place on a system to record what the issue and what the complaint was, and then passing that feedback onto a different department who can stack these different levels of feedback up, analyse them and understand exactly where the patterns are and where the correlations are. Of course, once we start to understand patterns and correlations, we can start to understand exactly where the gaps are, the real gaps, that is, the gaps that are being given to us by the people receiving our products and services, and doing something about it, where possible and where appropriate. So there's the first thing that people need to be analysing. They need to be analysing exactly what the quality of their service offering is according to the people that are receiving it, i.e. the customers. So what else should we be analysing? Well, we need to be analysing how good our people are, or how good your people are. I think it's a true statement, and I use this statement in sales as well, is there are very few people go through full-time education, college, and maybe even university with aspirations to become a customer service deliverer, a customer service person, a customer service leader or manager. Very few people in my experience have ever done that, if any. It just seems to be a job that people fall into, which the comparable of sales is a very good one, because very few people set out on a life journey to become a salesperson. And this is where the problems lie for lots of organizations and businesses. We tend to put people into customer service positions that maybe have got some experience in something or other that's dealing with other people. And as long as they are relatively articulate and they can communicate in a relatively successful manner, and they can use a keyboard and a mouse and navigate through a few computer systems, then we tend to deem them as a capable and competent customer service person. Well, of course, we know, and certainly from my experience, customer service is much greater and broader than just being able to talk to people, and operate a couple of computer systems. Some of the most successful customer service people I've ever worked with and indeed trained have been some of the best humans, I guess, that I've ever worked with too, because there are certainly some traits that truly successful customer service people need to be able to display. And the very first one of those is empathy. I'm not going to go through all of these, by the way, because that's going to be on a separate hubcast. However, truly empathetic people have just got a really good way of dealing with other people, because the thing that troubles me as a customer service person would be how the customer is feeling, and I want to put that feeling right. So we take ourselves away from blame, we take full responsibility, and we really try our best. We endeavour to help that customer feel better. Now, I guess the question you may be posing to yourself is, well, how do we analyse that? Well, we can't just analyse that in isolation, because that would give us, quite a skewed picture, I guess, on the success of our customer service people. But it certainly should be one of the things that we are measuring. We should also measure the other traits that we include in our customer service model, which again I will go into on a different podcast. However, there are a whole bunch of things around contact time, how quickly are we responding to customers' needs, the resolution, how long did it take us to resolve specific customer issues, cost, I guess, because cost is always an issue. And certainly from my experience, lots of businesses and organizations do have fairly broad customer service teams, but it's quite frequent that the budgets aren't very broad to be able to match customer resolutions and customer resolution needs. So whilst it is funded, it's maybe not funded as well as it needs to be. There's behaviours that we can measure. There's, as I mentioned, resolutions. There is communication. There's pickup time. There's all sorts of different things that we need to be measuring in terms of the success of our customer service people, success of resolutions, and then, of course, customer satisfaction. We absolutely need to measure customer satisfaction, not just on an ongoing basis, but certainly at the end of customer problems, and I guess the success rate in which we are resolving customer problems and the satisfaction around that. So really, just to summarise, I guess just on the analysis topic, is I just wonder how businesses and organisations deem their customer service departments and indeed their customer service people as successful and satisfactory if they aren't analysing their performance on an hourly, daily basis. Well, I don't know the answer to that question. So this is why I guess I'm putting this podcast out there, hopefully to get the customer service leaders and managers out there posing that question in your business. How successful are we? And what is the information and how credible are the answers that we're coming to? Okay, so that's going to just conclude this podcast for now. Hopefully that's been useful, and I'll see you again on another customer service topic very soon. Bye-bye.